We are saying we are looking for investors to come and bring foreign direct investment. These are some of the indicators that they look at. How transparent is your government? How accountable is your government? We have seen reforms like the State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program that has seen a lot of improvement in terms of transparency in government and what have you. So we are always scared when we see circulars like this that to us might, yes, on one hand, look like a normal communication because every civil society signs oath of secrecy and all of that. But that is also coming because it's likely coming from the military era. So we need to demilitarize our democracy and begin to ensure that any citizen, every kobo that government is spending, the average man should have an idea of where the money came from, how it was managed, how it was utilized, and should have an account, how it was accounted for. And this information should be out there. And that is why we are already, as we have said, we have already caught cold. We are profusely now coughing because we don't want to take any chances. We have issues that democracy is failing to the extent that even our neighboring countries are now falling in the arms of coup d'etat. And why are these things happening? Because even the government don't have support of the citizens. So Nigeria as a whole should serve as an example to Africa to say that yes, we can open our government enough that our citizens can trust us, that no military can work at here and hold a gun and come and change government, and people will sit back because the people will feel that it is their government. They have taken ownership of the government because they know almost every information that by law they should know. So these are the issues that we need to really pay attention to. Yes, if government put out the circular for the right reasons, let them come out and explain these issues to citizens. We are not running a cult government. We are running a democracy. And what is the essence of democracy? By the time you remove, they say government of the people, by the people, and for the people. If you remove the people's component of it, there's no democracy. So, and it means that government of the people, it means that the people are the ones to elect who leads them. Government by the people means the people must participate in the governance process. Government for the people means that the people must determine what government will do for them to their benefit. I mean, that is basically what democracy is all about. And for that process to happen, access to information must be sacrosanct.
All right, you're listening to Ground Zero, coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television in collaboration with Invicta 98.9 FM. You may want to go to the Procyon Radio and TV app to watch what we are doing right here in our ad hoc studio, if I can put it that way. And also for those that want to listen to us moving around, you can do that from the Procyon Radio app. Of course, if you are listening to us on Invicta 98.9 FM, it's a program that we are currently doing. And on the program today, we are looking at the circular that was sent to heads of ministries, departments, agencies, and parastatals of government, indicating that the level of openness of government documents, it's actually a complaint from them that official government documents that should be secret is in the open, and they want to put a stop to it. And why we are picking it up today is because we feel that if we are signed to the Open Government Partnership, and also if we already have the freedom of information laws, why are we coming out at this point in time? And just like Yusuf Goje said earlier, though we know that there are some information that should not be in open domain just like that, but who is the gatekeeper? Who determines what should be and what shouldn't be? Because like I said, most of the time, you give the average Nigerian person some little power, they become a jagaban. No, they become something else. Let me use that language. So, who determines the gatekeeper of the information that should go out and should not? And will this not reverse all the gains that we have made so far when it comes to openness in the governance process? These are critical questions that we need to ask. Shortly from now, we'll open up the lines. But before we open up the lines to do that, and Yusuf, this you talked about earlier, but this particular circular coming out at this time when so many people are clamoring to know more, understand more, and the fact that even information circulation is even critical to how governance process is carried out. Why should this come out at this time? Any reason?
Well, government has clearly stated that it is embarrassing them and it is unacceptable. So, from the content of what we have seen, the major justification given is that government is being embarrassed. So, the critical question would now be, who is the government?
What constitutes embarrassment to them?
Yes. So, in the real sense, the people are the government.
Yes.
Public servants are only given mandate in trust to manage the resources of the country in a way that will benefit the larger citizens. So the citizens are the government. Like we always say in the civil society, we, the citizens, are the demand side of government, while they, public officials, are the supply side. So, and in this sense, we are supposed to be making the demands. The only responsibility before them is to make the supply what we want they should do, because the power, like I said in section 14 of the Constitution, has been given to the citizens, which is the sovereignty. And it is from that sovereignty that the president, the governor, and the local government chairman, and every other public official derives the power and authority that they are utilizing. So this means that there are a lot of things that is happening. Probably government wants it to be a secret.
Okay.
So that is what basically from our own layman understanding is. And like we had highlighted earlier on, where there is no communication, there's no society. And the key driver of communication is information. And so if citizens are starved of information, they will continue to use assumptions to react to what government is doing. So if for us, we feel that the government is doing this, then we have to be worried about it. And I'll give an instance. In the 1980s in Brazil, Porto Alegre to be precise, when the economy was very bad and people were suffering and the government was under pressure, they brought out what is now known as participatory budgeting.
Okay.
Where they now opened up the budget process, where citizens now were directly involved in deciding how their resources would be allocated and utilized by the government. And then it showed that they were able to really fight poverty during that. So these are realities that we must face, because the more you close information away from citizens, the more you alienate yourself as a government from the citizens, the real owner, the real government.
Yes.
And that is not good for us at a time that citizens are frustrated, depressed, angry. So I think these are communication issues that probably this current administration needs to really re-strategize, because we are at a very dire situation that every action or inaction of government has consequences.
All right. Let's start to take your calls now. I can see some people are already calling. Well, officially, the phone lines are open now: 0809 799 1989 and 0809 4646 206. These are the numbers that you can get us by. You can also drop your comment and observations on our social media platform at ProcyonRTV on YouTube, at ProcyonRTV on Facebook. You can start putting your calls through now: 0809 799 1989. My guest on the program today is Yusuf Goje. You can go to various social media platforms too to watch us live. We are on YouTube and on Facebook. You can watch us live. Don't mind the studio. Like I said, it's an ad hoc studio. Actually, my hotel room somewhere in Nigeria where this program is coming from. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
Mr. Ehis, good evening, sir.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program. What's your name?
And I greet Mr. if I'm right, is this Yusuf?
Yes.
You are.
All right. My name is Otumba Rafai, President from Kano Road.
All right, Otumba Rufai, let's have your take.
This is not the first time that we are made that we cannot access, we don't have access to information, which is normally primarily that anybody whatsoever can ask for.
Okay.
What is the purpose of this information act that was now, I think it's a challenge to the civil society organization to challenge the federal government at least in court so that let's see. I mean, how are they in the right place to do that? I think this is the right thing. This is the right thing for the civil society organization to challenge the federal government on this that comes out that they.
Yeah.
That's the only way I think we can do this. So that let's relate to the state of democracy. This is a democracy that at least we are the people that elect presidents there. And I think we should have access to this is what we want you people to do for us. But are they saying it? The answer is no. People are suffering. If truly we are practicing democracy, people are being suffering in all these things after removing fuel subsidy. And you realize that people are suffering. Are you not supposed to report and do what people want? Not you. Just very few of you to the right thing. And some people are giving you one or two things to do. Just to suit them, not to suit those who are governing. I think the federal government should sit up right and give a challenge to people like Yusuf there and your other civil society organizations so that you put the federal government in court. Good evening.
Good evening and thank you so very much. And also, yeah, I need to put out this disclaimer now. The circular was actually from the federal government of Kaduna state government. In the process of putting it out, there was a little error in the sniping that I sent out. It's actually the federal government, not Kaduna state government. So I'm putting out this disclaimer, and I'll do that officially on all of our platforms before the end of the program. 009-799-1989. And the program is Ground Zero and it's coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television. So we are waiting for your calls to come in now. 009-464-6206 is the second line that you can also get us on the program, looking at a circular from the federal government that is curtailing that is putting in place measures to regulate the kind of information that goes out and to curtail official leakage of sensitive official information and document in ministries, department, and agencies. And it's actually from the federal government, not Kaduna state government. That was an error. And of course, it was signed by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation in the person of Dr. Fola Shade Yemi Son, CFR. So sorry for that misinformation in the promo that was sent out. It's actually not from Kaduna state government, but from the federal government. 0809 799 1989 is the number to dial to be part of the program Ground Zero today, the 20th day of February 2024. And of course, Tuesday, while we are waiting other calls to come in, still looking at the fact that there needs to be building of trust between the citizens and the government, and the fact that circular coming out at this time. Let's take this call first. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program.
Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Awusu.
All right, Awusko, you are welcome.
You see, we are critical for information bill that was started to law.
Yeah.
Advising and government to get information at any desired time by any individual. So, I'm wondering why government must do something. Why the government is order? They shouldn't be, they should allow people free information. Because when
Yeah. All right, before you go, I was, but you know, it's not all information that should be out there. Sensitive information should be kept, or don't you think so? Okay. 0809-799-1989 is the number to dial to be on the program Ground Zero this evening. And you can also call us on 0809 4646206. Both lines are active and hot. Get us on any of them and let's have your say in respect of the topic that we are looking at on the program this evening. The program is Ground Zero coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television in collaboration with Invicta 98.9 FM.
So maybe can I just
Yes, please. Yeah.
So I think we really need to also clarify on this part. Our own argument is not on the letter itself, but the fears that
Yes.
such kind of letter can evoke. We are not in support of leaking official sensitive government information, but all we are saying is that this might have implications in terms of public perception of government. It will be as if government is trying to hide something and all of that, when naturally, if government is doing the right thing, there shouldn't be any fear that such information will be leaked out and government will be embarrassed in that direction. So I think that is important for the listeners to understand. This is normal procedure in terms of government communication and all of that. But in a society and a global world where we see democracy really not feeling as civil rights being oppressed and suppressed the more, it is only fair, it's only natural for citizens to be afraid, considering that we have issues of the social media bill, we have issues of regulating civil society, all happening at this time, makes this kind of information very uncomforting for citizens. And see, we must all understand that this responsibility is not for civil society. There's what is called civic responsibility, and that is binding on every Nigerian.
Yeah.
It is binding on you to ensure that you participate in governance and you engage in governance, and where it is needed, you hold the government accountable. It is because we have delegated that power to civil society, and that is why most of these things don't work, because the civil society cannot do it on their own. It has to be with the support of every Nigerian, because at the end of the day, if civil society are making all the noise and the people don't support, government would not take the civil society serious, because after all, how does that translate to votes when it comes to election, when you only have few civil society making noise, doing press conference and all of that? But the moment government sees that there's a public support for this kind of issues, and they know that if they don't perform, citizens will wait for them and hold them accountable during the next election, or when our democracy develops further, we can even say citizens can decide to recall non-performing public officials. So these are the main issues that we need to really raise concern about, and to also call on the federal government to say that no matter what they are doing, once they don't get it right with communication, they will continue to be on the other side of the city public opinion.
Let's quickly take this call before we go on. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
Even Ehis, my brother, someone call you.
All right, Shimang, talk to us. Fine, thank you.
Yes, sir. The discussion on God, issues of science class, to be restricted. I think it's a nice one. But if the government is reading, if reading, I don't think science class should be. Hello?
Hello, I'm listening.
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Yes.
What I'm saying, that was sent out by the about people handling matters.
Of official government documents, leakage of
Yes, sir.
official government documents.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that if people are not careless, how will somebody carry official document and be circulating on media? It's not,
Hmm.
it's not right. We should set our we should set the integrity of our nation. It's not everything that somebody will just say because one thing is the one you may as it. So we need
Okay.
to respect
Okay.
the issue of that is
Yes, sir.
something in Nigeria that we are all about. We need prayers in this country.
Yes.
Honestly speaking, Nigeria is capitalism.
Hmm.
For us, because was too good for us.
Okay.
And people who are making this country and you want to realize the nation, they're taking in the wrong dimension. We would have set some things from God, that set some things from motion, so that even if the something is wrong, the sense will not be as it is today. The sense of that removals of the soul has given birth to so many things that are in this country. High in commodities, the insecurity, even on that aspect. The issue of commodities that are unfortunately if I was that so that really people will go. The what people are passing through, even if in the future, that people come to defend those that will die today, will they apply for you? That is the question we always ask. I think we will see it through in this mission because I can see that is going to rescue Nigeria. It's on rescue mission. And they said it's on help review her. So we pray that it's going to rescue this the nation and rescue the people of Nigeria because that shit is so much on us. Good evening, my brother. I know it's the same.
Good evening, and thank you so very much for stopping by. Let's see if we can take one or two more calls, and we'll move on with the program. All right, 009-799-1989. We have a caller. Hello, good evening.
And the video.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Comrade.
All right, comrade, you're welcome.
In fact, you are millions of and happy on this program. Continue to listen to this radio and television. Sir, to ask a man who doesn't have anything, maybe I didn't know anything, what is secrecy? Because today in one of the
What is secrecy?
money from the Invicta, they say that Atiku is asking the government that they are still imposing this subsidy. I don't know whether something like that is secrecy or something like that. So that's what I wanted to find out. Secrecy. What did Atiku say? Is it a secret something? Because it is people who are moving this document, the way I understand it. Because when I was working, so we advised that we do not link it, but on our video, somebody can come and say what this is happening. Sometimes you close, people will come and put your door and what is happening. So I think the government should focus on how to bring us out of this present challenges of hunger. Create much prepared for us that I always say that please, the year help us. And not just that limited closed in 2002 to today with 2,300 workers and I have a record of 480 than that. Nobody is limited. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to hear my view in Jesus' name.
All right, thank you so very much, Comrade Gabriel, for stopping by this evening. With that, we'll come back to the studio now and start to round up on the program. You've heard from the callers and those reacting to this particular snippet that we pushed out today, being the federal government, which I erroneously had posted earlier as state government. So sorry for that misinformation. We are withdrawing it everywhere. The federal government issues circular against leakage of official government document. How does this affect the open government partnership in Nigeria and, of course, the different states, most especially states that are signed onto the open government partnership? That's what we'll be looking at today on the program. Yusuf Goje, your parting shot now.
Well, like our leader callers had highlighted, Nigerians are really suffering, and this is the best time that government is supposed to come out clean on everything they are doing, which is what transparency is all about, because they need the trust capital from the citizens for them to succeed in whatever effort they are doing. For people that take out time to read government official documents, on paper, you see that government is really strategically focused on addressing our developmental challenges.
Yeah.
But it is when it comes to implementation where different interests come into play. And the only way we can stop these different interests from eroding the common interest is by ensuring that government is very open, that anybody that wants to divert anything or causes leakages, citizens can quickly see it and alarms can be raised. So that is very, very important. To the issue of secrecy, one thing with secret is that there must be something you're hiding for you to want it to be secret. As long as that thing will not cause chaos, will not cause confusion, will not cause instability, it is our belief that in the spirit of democracy, in the spirit of open government partnership, all information should be made public. So if you look at the circular, it did not say that the leakage is causing security concern or economic destabilization. What it is saying that it is embarrassing the government. So at this point in time, I think what this government really needs to do, and if you check over the past few months and weeks, from the decision they took with the central bank, movement of the central, some part of the central bank to Lagos and FAN and all of that, you understand that there is a challenge with communication.
Yeah.
The government is finding it very difficult to really speak in a way citizens and stakeholders in the country would understand. And if they don't work on communication, which transparency is a key part of it, then whatever program or policy they are working on, no matter how sincere they are, citizens will not appreciate it. And once they don't have the buy-in and ownership of citizens, no matter what they do, it will be difficult to work. Even if it works, citizens would not appreciate. For citizens, we should not say civil society. Everybody is a civil society. So it is our responsibility to engage those in government, ask the right questions, especially demanding access to information, and ensure you hold those in government accountable based on those information.
And with that, we come to the end of Ground Zero this evening, and hoping that we've been able to enlighten you and you get information reacting to this particular circular that's coming up from the federal government. Like, once again, we sincerely want to apologize for the misinformation and the snippets that we sent out earlier. Circular was from the federal government and not the state government. My guest on the program today has been Yusuf Goje. Yusuf, thank you so very much for having time to be on Ground Zero.
Thank you for having me.
I want to appreciate the whole production team. First of all, starting with the management and staff of Invicta 98.9 FM. Not forgetting the crew over there at Invicta FM, and of course, the Procyon Radio and TV staff also there, Samuel Idoga, and of course, not forgetting Sarah Agbon, the head of the production team. My name is Ehis Agbon. God's willing, on Friday we'll be on again for another time out on the program. And like always, we'll tell you to plant a tree today, water it, and watch it grow. May the good mighty Lord bless and keep us all. Most importantly, keep shining like a star that you are.